we talked about the survival ratio of a business is typically around 5%. So how do you have to manage your business so you can be in that 5% that's gonna last 5 to 10 years? We've been in business, I started my very first business back in 2014. So we've been in business for about 6 years now, and we've trained a ton of people, thousands and thousands of people. We've seen and experienced a lot of downturns and a lot of challenges. We have made it through all of that. So this is all coming from my own experience to you guys. This isn't just something I read or watched or some sort of a book. Of course, books give you a lot of experience, but what I'm doing for you guys here is I'm compressing 6-7 years of experience into half an hour of information for you guys so you understand how businesses typically work. So what you want to do in business, what you want to do to change something significantly for yourself is to learn how to create a breakthrough. Typically, everybody goes through like these moments of having a breakthrough. It could be in any other aspects. It could be financially, personally, relationship, anything. There's been that moment in life where you just had enough of it. It was just getting too much. It was getting too painful. You had enough of it. You had to create a breakthrough for yourself. You were like, not another second, not another minute. It's done. I'm not doing it anymore. How many of you guys have gone through moments like that before? Exactly. So how do you create a breakthrough in business? If your business is slowing down, if you are not able to grow, if you're not doing well enough, how do you create that breakthrough for yourself? There is a step-by-step process that you have to go through. I told you guys this a long time ago. Business is a game. And there are rules to the game. And if you don't know the rules, it's like playing poker without knowing the rules. What's gonna happen to you? You're wasting your money, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your resources. Same thing. If you're in business for yourself and you don't know the rules of business, then same thing. This is gonna happen. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your efforts. The way that you create a breakthrough, I'm gonna actually start it backwards from 3 up. This is in the order of importance. So you have to have the right strategy. So let's say you've had enough of it, you want to grow your business significantly. You want to kill it, you want to build it up, you want to blow it up, you want to make a ton of money. You have to have the right strategy for it. Obviously, we talk about this all the time. If you want to see the sunset, you can't be running east as quickly as possible because the sunset is on the other side. So you cannot have the wrong strategy. If you don't have the right approach to the breakthrough, it's never going to happen for you. If you don't have the right strategy, right system, you're never going to be able to create the breakthrough in the first place. So number one, you have to have the right strategy for it. Having the right strategy saves you years. Literally years of pain, years of headaches, years of rejection, years of dealing with all kinds of challenges that comes your way. Having the right strategy saves you years. I wish when we started this business, somebody handed me a handbook that told me how I'm supposed to be running this business. It would have saved me years of pain. It would have saved me a ton of money as well. Next is your story. So we talk about this all the time. Everybody's always got some sort of a story as for why they can't do what they want to do, or why they can't have what they want to have, or why their business is failing, their teams are failing, their relationship is failing. You talk to somebody who's been single for a long time, you're like, hey man, how come you've been single for a long time? Oh, all the good ones are taken. That's his story. You talk about a business, I know a lot of people personally that have a lot of businesses. I ask how they're doing during the pandemic. Oh man, this pandemic is killing us. Everybody's always got a story. And what people need to do, if you want to have a breakthrough, you have to divorce the story and marry the truth. That's what you need to do. So that story you've been telling yourself, why you can't have what you want to have, why you're not where you are, where you want to be, then just leave that story behind because it's a lie. That story is what truly stops you from moving forward. That story is what truly stops you from wanting to have a breakthrough, because we can hand you the right strategy on our platform. We can tell you exactly how to make money. We can teach you how it's done. We have shown you how it's done. But if you've got this story that you're telling yourself that, oh, you know what, no matter what the strategy, I'm never going to be successful because nobody in my family has been successful before, so what makes me think like I'm going to be successful? Well, guess what? Same thing happened to me. Like, nobody in my family was successful in the first place. And like I always say to people, the easiest thing for me was to make $1 million. But the hardest part was to actually believe that I could make it. Because once I made $1 million, it was in 1 year. But it took me 7 years to really believe that I could make it in the first place. So it's the same thing. What I want to tell you guys is that you need to learn to just like leave that story behind, because it's nothing but bullshit. It's literally nothing but a bullshit story that's stopping you. Every time you want to move forward, the story is like pulling you back. Every time you want to do something, every time you want to have a breakthrough where you're finally going to get to the point where you can make a ton of money, story pulls you back. So you got to just completely leave that story behind, divorce it altogether, and change that story. Come up with a better story for yourself. Because you've got everything that you need. You've got the strategy, you've got the systems, you've got the platform, you've got the support, you've got everything you need to move forward. All you have to do is just get rid of this story. So when people ask you why you're not where you want to be, don't give them a story. Own up to it, take responsibility. It's my own fault. I'm lacking some resources maybe, my mindset, maybe my skill sets, I'm going to work on it, I'm going to do better next time. That's it, and just move forward. That's how you're supposed to do it. Lastly, but this is the most important one, this is the priority, is your state management. Are you able to control your emotions on day-to-day basis? Are you able to be in a positive state, and are you able to trigger a positive state in an instant? If you're overwhelmed, frustrated, upset, angry, mad at the world, and blaming everybody, are you able to just move into a positive state instantly? Because if you are in business, you can't take a long time to go back to normal if you feel down. If you feel down, shouldn't last more than 2 minutes. You need to be able to spark back up, get back on track, and start doing what you're supposed to be doing. So you need to learn how to control those emotions as well. Trust me, everybody goes through these emotions. They happen all the time. But you need to learn how to trigger the positive and the empowering emotions. So when we talk, especially in sales, if you're a sales professional or if you're in business, building a team, leader, whatever you want to call it, we always say the states that you're supposed to be in is confidence, clarity, conviction. Like, you have to have the confidence. You have to believe in yourself that it's going to happen. You have to be clear. You have to have the clarity. You need to know exactly how it's going to happen and exactly what your strategy is and how you're going to do it. If you're constantly frustrated, if you're constantly overwhelmed, if you're constantly mad, if you're constantly angry, if you're constantly upset, if you're constantly complaining, you're not going to get anywhere, because those are not the right states that you're supposed to be in. You can have, but here's the thing, to actually create this breakthrough in life where it's like completely changing, it's going from one side of the spectrum to the opposite side of the spectrum, all these three things have to line up at the same time. So you have to have the right strategy, which you do. You have to have the right story, because this is like a roadblock that's stopping you from going forward. Every time you try to surpass it, there's just like this cement block in front of you. No matter what you do, if you don't change the story, you're not going to go far. So this is what needs to be changed first. And it is a lie. It's not the truth. It is a lie. The story is a lie. It's just bullshit. It's literally a bullshit story that's not letting you get ahead. And lastly, your state management. State management is the same thing. Your state is your mindset, is 80% of success. 80% of success is your state management. If you're going to go into an appointment and close a client, and you feel frustrated, you feel tired, you feel upset, you feel angry, and you just want to complain, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think you're going to close that customer? Do you think somehow magically you're going to end up closing that customer? No. You're going to go there, and not only you're not going to close the customer, it's going to be a disaster, because you're just not in the right state. Now, typically, when you close a customer, how does it go in the next appointment? Very good, because you're in the right state. So now, here's the trick. How do I trigger that right state with or without closing a customer first? Right? So you got to train yourself to learn how you can trigger all of that. So as soon, right before you go into any interaction where you have to close somebody, influence them, persuade them, you can trigger those states to come out right away. We see this all the time. People's state affects their outcome. Especially because we've been running a sales platform for a long time. So when somebody is not having a good day in the morning, their days are numbered until they're pretty much done, because they fall into a downward spiral. They don't feel good. The results are not going to end up being good. The results are not good. Then they're going to feel even worse. And that downward spiral is going to continue until they crash and burn. It happens all the time. Now, it goes the same way in business. It goes the same way as an entrepreneur. It goes the same way as running a team, leading a team. It's the exact same way. As a leader, your first and most important part of being a leader is you having the ability to control your emotion. Because if you're upset, your entire team is going to be that way. If you're overwhelmed, your entire team is going to feel it. If you're happy, excited, convinced, and you believe in yourself, your entire team is going to do the exact same thing.